Today we're tying the blue sardine. So we're going to take our red fluoro fiber and center tie it in, quarter of the way down the shank. After making a couple thread wraps to lock it in place, push the forward-facing fluoro fibers backwards. Then pull all the fibers down towards the hook point and cut them to that length. Don't worry about making them look as neat as possible. They're going to be sitting underneath the mirror fibers. Alright, we're going to take our white belly material and center tie it in below the hook shank, making one loose wrap, making sure the fibers are orientated correctly, and then finish tying them in. Before moving on, make sure you separate the white belly material on either side of the hook point. Now we're going to tie in our blue fibers on top of the hook shank, lining up the ends, using the same technique, one loose thread wrap, then tightening it and making a couple more locking thread wraps. Now separating the forward-facing fibers, we're going to push them back at the same time. Using a hollowed out pen or a proto tool can help with this process. Once you're holding all the material back with your left hand, you can start building up a thread dam / nose at the front of your fly. You'll notice your spool came with both white thread and mono. You can choose to use mono to build up your thread dam and nose of your fly, or you can use the white thread and then cover it with UV resin at the end to give it that extra durability that the mono has. Now you can whip finish and cut your bobbin free. Now you can run a brush through your fly real quick. Followed by trimming up the fly anywhere it may need it. All you're doing is trying to make it have a perfect baitfish profile. Put a small dab of super glue on the back side of the eyes before placing them onto the side of the fly. Then rotate your fly, put another small dab of super glue, and then attach the fly on the exact same spot on the opposite side of the shank. Now we're going to coat both the threads and the peak of the fly with a little bit of UV resin, and then cure it with your light after each application. This will give your fly a little bit more durability, and your whip finish will be less likely to come undone. Now we're going to encase the eye in UV resin using the brush applicator. Have a liberal amount of UV resin on the brush tip and then kind of brush it over the eye and past it onto the fibers themselves. What this will do is create a little bit of a barrier around the eye and help hold them in place. There's nothing more annoying than having the eyes pop off of your fly after catching just a couple fish. This will greatly improve the durability of your fly. Make sure you cure after each application. And then repeat on the opposite side. I work from the thread wraps towards the back of the fly, going with the fibers. If you try to brush towards the eye of the hook, you'll notice the fibers will start to peel forward, and it's kind of a nightmare trying to do it in that direction. Just keep dabbing around the eye and building up that little bit of a barrier. And there you have it, how to tie a blue sardine.